This story begins with a mystery wrapped in linens made from chaos. Nightfall now drowns in stories about perilous travels with a lust for bringing nightmares to life. It has become a place where trust and loyalty are held together by gold and silver, but can quickly be lost in a flash to the needs of another bottomless pocket. Yet the many skies passing over endless secrets are not moved by human trivialities, as its suns and moons fall into a kingdom on the brink of war. Underneath the boundaries of what is to follow, a huntress tracks these signs, depicting the myth of an ancient malevolence activating the blood of men to flow like rivers when words in a phrase cloaked in its aim to disobey, turn truth to lies, blinding endless eyes to an evil's desire, igniting a fire being fed by wickedness till it melts the gates to the veiled beyond, and all that we cherish is gone. King Altonus, the first of his blood, receives news at his throne that his brother and his brother's dear lady have gone missing. They were last seen entering Romantics Park late last night. Witnesses heard a blood-stopping scream from what sounded like a man, followed by a flash of purple light that lit up vast portions of the park. King Altonus found himself deeply troubled by this news. He knew of his brother's plans to propose to his lady-love Madeline last night.
Will you marry me?
His heart responded with a fearful heaviness that made his thoughts feel like they were made from giant lead anchors. The king could not help but feel guilty responsibility for these disappearances. He commissioned his brother to the strategic seaport town of Bolaria because the tension between his kingdom and their current allies to the north could soon turn allies into enemies. So, he needed someone he could trust with naval command experience to direct the southern fleets in protecting their trade routes to the south. Altonus called upon his most trusted friend and advisor, Burl Ravishon, to meet with him. Burl is also the head of the king's demiurgic guard. They have a reputation for shaping order out of chaos, with an artistic flair toward renewal brought through the death they create on the battlefield. When Burl arrives, the king tells Burl,
I need you to take 3 men, including yourself, to Bolaria to investigate. Bring my brother and his fiancée back to me, and when you find those responsible, I want you to skin them alive, cover their exposed flesh with salt, and then bring me back their bodiless heads.
Burl bowed his head and responded,
Yes, sire, it is spoken and shall be done.
The men embraced through their love for each other and to ease their reciprocated pain. Burl completed his investigative triumvirate, as his king asked, by first bringing on his best warrior, regal Tyrcanus. If a tight situation called upon hands made to bring death, there was no one more feared than Tyrcanus in the 6 lands to expel you from your life. The third piece was his smartest tactical warrior, G. Musun. G is exceptionally proficient in using his logical reasoning cloaked in high-level observational awareness. Burl thought G to be invaluable to the investigative arm of this triumvirate. Their horses were prepared, and then they rode for 3 days till they reached Bolaria. Once they arrived in Bolaria, Burl wasted no time delegating his plan to canvass key areas of the city to G and Tyrcanus. Burl handed each of them a linked precast stone. The linked stones could be used to signal each other if vital information needed to be discussed immediately. You would rub your stone 3 times, and this would cause the other linked stones to light up and vibrate softly. Then they would reconvene at Lady Vessel's tavern. G was tasked to start with the local taverns, as these were always hotbeds for inflated gossip built by the air of truth, while Tyrcanus was sent to find the best suitable place to set up their base of operations. Burl went to see when the witch Cassidra would be available to gain insight into the purple light. As G methodically worked his way through the many empty glasses of information, He kept coming across what became the most interesting whisper among his interviewees. He kept hearing about a stranger who was asking questions about the disappearances like he was. Each iteration of the stranger only varied slightly. G knew this must be freshly minted information. Not enough time has passed yet for people to create a great fog around the story. Also, their fear is real. G rubbed his Precast stone 3 times. G told Burl and Tychanis that a mysterious stranger had been asking questions about the disappearances. But the detail about the stranger that strummed a rhythm to his mind the most is the townspeople all said the stranger was a huntress, a female vampire. Burl scoffed at what he deemed as nonsense. Tychanis, the sarcastic jokester that he is, said,
"So the fearful townsfolk spoke of a monster from an almost forgotten lore that is half vampire and half human, and our voice of logical thinking hosts the illogical eye of a true believer."
Tychanis laughed full-heartedly at his own sarcastic genius. G responded to Tychanis's wit.
"I thought only that their fear was genuine, and this woman to be our most important link to the unknown about the disappearances."
Burl cut them both off and said,
Enough with the chatter. Let's sleep on it and find this woman in the morning.
2 hours before daybreak, Burl was awakened by a very sharp blade slightly cutting into his throat. The shadow of a figure loomed over his body, and a harsh whisper entered his ear. The message in the whisper was clear.
"Not a sound, or you will find yourself delivered to the kingdom of your god."
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe as this really helps our channel.